Because their trucks often overrun when climbing, the life of the forklift gear is very short. Most of the trucks in Pakistan are imported. When the original parts cannot be purchased, the owner can only repair them. Today we will learn how the Pakistani master turned costs into insurance. The completely broken flange ring in front of us is obviously ordinary. In order to restore the original strength of the gear, the master is going to use a safer thread docking. Considering that the fracture surface of the inner wall needs to be processed with threads, the rough and burred parts must be cut smooth and flat first, and the broken flange ring is horizontally docked. After the master's careful cutting, the fracture surface is also processed very smoothly. Because the contact surface between the two is not large, the master also selected a finer pitch. Such threads can be tightly engaged with the flange ring so that the inner wall cannot be completely welded and the thread can be fully stressed. After the master removed the burrs with the wrong knife, the pipe thread has reached the splicing standard. The previous cutting has caused the entire outer diameter to change. When the diameter of the thread in the flange ring is required to fit perfectly, Fu can only fill it with steel plate to ensure that the cutting thickness can make up for it so that the concentricity of the splicing will not have errors. Although they do not have high-end bending machines, the arc of the wolf head shaping can also meet the use standard. After the example is correct, the fracture is welded and fixed. The plate forms a closed circular ring. Then, according to the outer diameter of the inner ring of the gear, the inner diameter of the steel plate circular ring is expanded until the data of the two are completely consistent. For the threads on the surface of the inner ring of the gear, the same is also the key to make up for this steel plate circular ring. When using the inner hole cutter for 10 times in order to avoid gaps during splicing, Fu will test the circular ring steel plate butt joint to prevent the error of the thread from appearing. After the master completely tightens it before using the pipe, the surface of the circular ring needs to be processed further. Fu will simply spot weld the two folds to prevent the lathe from loosening the circular ring due to the rotation of the lathe. Considering the error in the thickness of the filled steel plate, the ring needs to be cut and cut. The outer arc of the ring is more standard, which can fit more closely with the French ring. After the splicing thread on the ring is formed, in order to ensure that the flange ring can be seamlessly connected, a scraper must be used to measure before processing to prevent the flange ring from being off axis. After all, the level of the connection between the two is related to whether the entire gear can be used normally. After the inner hole cutter fine-tunes the inner diameter, the flange ring must be processed with a connection thread. The repair of this time is mainly based on the thread. The most difficult thing is the accuracy of the 4 threads, which is a test of the 8th level front-end technology perform rotary docking. The smoothness of the master's rotation can show that there is no error in the thread. The thread joint is the only standard this time. Obviously, there will be loose seams if the thread alone is used. As for the splicing, welding rods are needed to fill the gap until the gap can be completely covered because the gap in the differential is limited in order not to affect the rotation of other gears. The rough welding bar needs to be polished with an angle grinder to restore it to the factory smoothness. This gear that is on the verge of being scrapped, the bowl is back. This operation is really a trick to save money.